Welcome to the Risk Wheelhouse, the podcast where we navigate the ever-changing seas of risk management and technology. Join your hosts, Ori Wellington and Sam Jones, as they steer you through the latest trends, insights, and strategies shaping the future of integrated risk management. Ready to chart a course towards success? Hop aboard and let's set sail into today's deep dive.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a story that really made some noise recently, Workiva.
Oh, yeah.
Big stock surge, right? 32% after their Q2 2025 earnings.
Huge number.
Exactly. And, at first glance, you think, okay, great quarter, success story.
Right. Straightforward.
But when you dig into the courses, especially this piece from Wheelhouse Advisors, Workiva's IRM surge, a strategic evolution, it paints a much more complex picture. It's actually a really interesting story about a company in the middle of a pretty critical strategic shift.
That's exactly right. And that's kind of our mission today, isn't it? To get past that headline number, we really want to unpack what this surge actually means in the bigger context of integrated risk management, IRM. It's a field that's changing fast.
Okay.
So we'll look at those market shifts, what Workiva is doing specifically, their Q2 results, obviously, and importantly, what it all means for risk tech going forward.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So what's this strong quarter really telling us about Workiva's bigger game plan? And maybe more importantly for listeners, what does it signal about how companies, enterprises are thinking about risk these days?
Well, maybe start with the numbers because they are strong.
Yeah, let's do that. Q2, $215 million total revenue. That's up 21% year over year. Pretty solid.
Very solid. And the driver behind that, the subscription revenue, that climbed even faster, 23% up to $198 million.
Those are impressive figures.
They really are. And it's not just the growth. Look at the retention, 97% gross retention.
Wow.
And get this, 114% net retention. That means existing customers are spending more.
That's a great sign.
Absolutely. And they even raised their full year guidance to around $872 million. So, the momentum seems real.
Which explains the investor reaction, that huge 32% jump after earnings. Makes sense.
Totally. But, and this is where Wheelhouse Advisors add some important context.
Right, there's always a but.
Exactly. While this Q2 rally is fantastic news for them now, their stock had actually been down quite a bit before this, about 24% over the previous 2 years.
Okay, so not exactly a smooth ride up until this point. Some volatility, investor doubts maybe?
Definitely signals that. It suggests this isn't like the finish line of a transformation. It's more like the promising start of one.
A necessary one, sounds like.
A very necessary strategic realignment, yes. They had some, let's call them structural vulnerabilities before, mostly linked to depending too heavily on specific regulations.
Like the EU's CSRD.
Yeah.
The Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. I remember hearing about delays there impacting companies.
It's exactly that kind of thing. Delays impact reporting timelines, which hits revenue recognition, which spooks investors. So this recent surge suggests investors are starting to believe Workiva's finally addressing those kinds of dependencies, getting more resilient.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And this pivot Workiva's making, it seems to align perfectly with a bigger trend in the whole risk management space, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The Wheelhouse Advisors report, their IRM Navigator for 2025, nails this. They talk about enterprise risk management moving fundamentally from compliance to intelligence.
From compliance to intelligence. Okay, what does that mean practically? Less box ticking?
Pretty much. Less focus on just meeting regulatory requirements, checking the boxes, and much more focus on getting real-time, actual insights.
So companies want to spot risks proactively. Maybe even, predict them before they blow up.
Precisely. Spot and neutralize threats before.
Are you ready to see risk management in action? At Wheelhouse Advisors, we've launched a new YouTube channel dedicated to integrated risk management. You'll find quick explainers, insights from our IRM Navigator research reports, highlights from the Risk Journal, and conversations from the Risk Wheelhouse podcast. We're covering the topics that matter most to executives and risk leaders, from AI governance and cyber insurance to operational resilience and regulatory change. Every video is designed to help you anticipate risks, adapt with confidence, and build resilience in a digital-first world. In our first video, we explain how ISO 42001, the EU AI Act, and the NIST AI Risk Management Framework can work together as a unified playbook for AI risk. Subscribe today at youtube.com/@wheelhouseadv and get the latest insights delivered directly to you. That's youtube.com/@wheelhouseadv. Subscribe now and stay ahead of the risks that matter most.
They become catastrophes. It's a huge shift, and it changes what companies look for in their vendors.
So who wins in that kind of market?
The winners are the vendors delivering those cross-domain insights. Automation, too. Platforms that can connect the dots across different risk areas, not just tools stuck on one narrow regulation.
Okay, so Workiva is trying to become one of those platforms,
Yeah.
repositioning from, primarily a financial reporting tool, which is where they started,
Right, that was their core.
to something much broader, covering ESG, audit, financial disclosure, and this whole integrated risk management IRM umbrella. That sounds like a massive undertaking.
It is. It's a big pivot.
How's it going? Is it actually working?
Well, the numbers suggest it is resonating. They mentioned 71% of their subscription revenue now comes from customers using multiple solutions on their platform.
Oh, wow. Okay, so customers are buying into the broader platform idea, not just using one piece.
Exactly. It shows successful cross-selling, yes, but also deeper adoption. They're building out features for assured integrated reporting, workflows that connect teams, continuous monitoring, real-time analytics, trying to deliver on that integrated promise.
Which naturally brings us to the competition. Because they're not doing this in a vacuum.
Not at all. The competitive landscape is, well, it's really interesting here.
So who are the benchmarks? Who should we compare Workiva to?
Well, the Wheelhouse report points to companies like Archer and OneTrust. They're examples of firms that made this kind of integrated IRM play earlier and successfully.
Right, expanding from maybe IT risk or privacy into broader areas like ESG or cyber risk.
Exactly. They kind of set a benchmark for what that integration path looks like.
Okay, and then there are others taking a different approach.
Yeah, look at someone like Audit Board. They've focused more on deep specialization, really strong in internal audit, and GRC governance, risk, and compliance.
So best of breed in a specific area rather than the broad platform play.
Right. And that approach has its strengths for sure, deep expertise. But it also carries that potential vulnerability we talked about earlier, being maybe too dependent on specific regulatory drivers or niches, a bit like Workiva's past challenges, potentially.
Okay, so you've got these two different strategies playing out. Deep specialization versus broad integration.
Exactly. And that really highlights the strategic tightrope Workiva is walking. They're clearly betting on integration now.
That's where it gets really interesting, as you said. High stakes.
Definitely. And to understand where Workiva fits in that integrated future, Wheelhouse uses this model, their 5 functional layers of autonomous IRM.
Okay, 5 layers. Sounds structured. What are they?
Think of them not as separate boxes, but as interconnected decision layers. They all work together to help a company achieve its goals across performance, resilience, assurance, and compliance. They call it PRAC for short.
PRAC. Got it. Performance, resilience, assurance, compliance.
Right. It's a framework for thinking about what a truly integrated, maybe even autonomous risk management system needs to do.
So within those 5 layers, where does Workiva currently shine? Where are their strengths?
Based on that model, their traditional strengths are clearly in Layer 5, which is verification and audit.
Okay, makes sense given their background.
And also Layer 1, strategic oversight, so the high-level view and the detail checking.
Gotcha. Top and bottom layers, sort of.
Oh.
So if those are the strengths, where's the room for growth? Where are the big opportunities for them to really become that end-to-end IRM player?
The big gaps, or rather opportunities, are in the middle layers. Layer 3 is threat intelligence, proactively identifying risks. Layer 2 is business orchestration, coordinating actions across the company. And Layer 4 is automated response, actually acting on threats automatically where possible.
And those middle layers.
Yeah.
Those are areas where competitors might be stronger right now.
That's what the analysis suggests. Competitors like Archer and OneTrust often have strong capabilities in those particular areas. So that's where Workiva really needs to build out, either organically or maybe through acquisition, to fulfill that true integrated vision.
Okay, this ties back to the investor view then, right? Investors are getting savvier about this.
Seems like it. The sentiment is shifting away from just rewarding compliance plays.
They want more strategic value. Platforms that aren't going to get sideswiped by one regulatory change.
Exactly. They prefer these integrated, diversified platforms, more resilient, more adaptable, less dependent on, say, one specific mandate like CSRD was for a time.
Right. So the recommendations flowing from this analysis would be,
Well, for Workiva, it's pretty clear. Push hard into those middle IRM layers. Threat intel, orchestration, response. And crucially, communicate the strategic value, not just the compliance box ticking.
makes sense. And for other vendors,
The message is similar. Embrace integration. Either build it yourself or partner up. Silos are becoming less attractive.
and for the actual risk and compliance leaders listening in, the people in the trenches.
For them, it's about thinking strategically about their tech roadmap, aligning it with this integrated IRM future. And when evaluating vendors, maybe use a framework like those autonomous IRM layers to see who covers what and how well. It's about future-proofing their own risk programs.
Okay, so wrapping this up, Workiva's strong Q2 and that stock surge, it's like an early thumbs up for a major strategic pivot they're undertaking.
Yeah, an initial validation,
Yeah.
definitely just the beginning.
Right. This isn't just about one company's quarterly earnings. It's reflecting a really fundamental shift in how businesses have to think about risk today, moving beyond just compliance.
Towards intelligent, integrated solutions. It's about managing risk proactively in a world that's just getting more complex.
So a final thought then. What's the bigger takeaway here?
Well, if we connect this to the really big picture, it kind of begs a crucial question, doesn't it? In this environment of, constant change, overwhelming information, how vital is it for any company, really, no matter the industry, to ditch those fragmented approaches, to truly embrace cross-domain integration?
Not just in their tech stack, but
Right, not just technology, but in their strategy, their decision-making, their culture. How critical is that shift becoming for survival, let alone success? Maybe something for you, the listener, to think about in your own context, your own industry.
that's a powerful question to leave people with. Great food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Workiva, its strategic journey, and the really dynamic world of integrated risk management.
That wraps up another episode of the Risk Wheelhouse. Thank you for spending time with us at Wheelhouse Advisors today. We hope you found the conversation insightful and actionable for your organization's risk strategies. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music. If you're looking for more in-depth analysis and thought leadership on risk technology, be sure to visit the Risk Tech Journal at therisktechjournal.com. It's your go-to source for comprehensive articles, expert interviews, and the latest trends shaping the industry. Subscribe today to stay informed. For any inquiries or feedback, please contact us directly at info@wheelhouseadvisors.com, or feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn and x.com and share your thoughts or suggestions for future topics. Visit wheelhouseadvisors.com for more information and resources. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, navigate wisely.